So what are the best beach towns on the east coast of Florida? Honestly, that's a really hard question to answer because Florida's full of awesome beach towns. Well, today we're gonna look at 6 beach towns in particular that are right here on the Space Coast that you need to know about. So stick around. What's up everybody? My name is Joey Guest and I'm a real estate agent right here on the Space Coast of Florida. And today we're gonna look at 6 beach towns that are right here on the Space Coast that you need to know about. The beach towns in Brevard County are some of the most overlooked places to live on the entire east coast of Florida. The quality of life and the economic vitality are absolutely incredible. The Space Coast is home to the #1 most concentrated high-tech economy in Florida and number 10 in the US. And it's seen the number 3 best wage growth in the entire United States for 2021. So what is the Space Coast? Well, it's like no other place in Florida. We've got over 72 miles of coastline, and as the name implies, it's where we send people into space. We're gonna work our way down the coast from north to south, and we're gonna try to get through each place in about a minute, so pay attention because we're going to move fast. And before we get too much further into it, subscribe to the channel right down here. We're gonna be looking at some really awesome beachside homes in some upcoming videos. That way you'll get notified when those videos drop. Okay, the first stop on our map is Cape Canaveral, also known as the Space Between. Cape Canaveral is home to Port Canaveral, which is the 2nd largest cruise port in the entire country. It's also home to Jetty Park and the Cove at Port Canaveral, where you'll find restaurants like Grills, Gators Dockside, Rusty's, Rising Tide. You also got some really good marinas like Blue Points and Cape Marina. You'll also find the Exploration Tower, which is a really awesome place to watch the rocket launches. The vibe in Cape Canaveral is what I would call like an eclectic little beach town vibe. And the proximity and accessibility to Orlando is great. You're probably 35 to maybe 45 minutes to the Orlando International Airport on the 528. So if you need to get to Orlando on a regular basis, you're directly east, and it is the beach with the most direct access to Orlando. Also, if you're gonna be working out at the Cape for like Blue Origin or SpaceX or ULA, this beach is gonna be within the closest proximity to the Cape. All right, so let's look at the beaches. For the most part, you're gonna be able to find free parking with the exception of Jetty Park, but the water clarity isn't always the best because you are so close to the jetty, and especially in springtime when we have the sargassum seaweed, that part of the beach usually collects quite a bit. Now, there are some really nice stretches of the beach that aren't gonna be nearly as touristy as, say, Jetty Park or further south by the pier. When we're talking real estate, you're gonna find most of Cape Canaveral is gonna be either condos or townhomes. There are some single family homes, but they are few and far between. And when we look at the numbers right now, the median price point in Cape Canaveral is $425,000. We're hovering right around 3 weeks of inventory, and days on market seems to be averaging right around 23 days. Now, if you're an investor and you're looking for a short-term or vacation rental, the city of Cape Canaveral does have some very specific short-term rental restrictions. And specifically in October of 21, the city enacted the vacation rental inspection program. So if you're an investor and you're considering a short-term rental or vacation rental property in Cape Canaveral, make sure you call or text or even email us. We'll have that down below so we can help you navigate that process. All right, so let's move on to our next stop, which is gonna be Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach is directly south of Cape Canaveral, and it's generally referred to as Orlando's closest beach. It's famously known for the Cocoa Beach Pier and Ron John Surf Shop. Now, the vibe in Cocoa Beach is gonna be a lot more touristy compared to some other places that we're gonna talk about later in this video. So once you get past Minuteman and move into South Cocoa Beach, the vibe is a lot less touristy and it's gonna have more of a residential feel. All right, now Cocoa Beach is home to some really good local restaurants and bars, and 2 of my personal favorites are 4th Street Filling Station and the Tiny Turtle. And actually, why don't you guys let me know down in the comments what some of your favorite Cocoa Beach spots are. And if you've been to Tiny Turtle or 4th Street and you like it, make sure you hit that like button and let us know. Now, when we talk about proximity and access to Orlando, Cocoa Beach is still gonna offer really good access to Orlando, and you're gonna have a lot of the same conveniences as Cape Canaveral. And if you're stationed at Patrick Space Force Base, you'll be just north of that, so you'll have really good access and proximity to the base as well. Now, a lot of your big box shopping stores are gonna be located over on Merritt Island, so all you have to do is hit the causeway and drive maybe 5-10 minutes. You've got access to Walmart, Target, Aldi, more Publixes, Home Depot, and you really don't have to go to the mainland. Now, traffic isn't always the best, especially on weekends or during tourist season, but once you get used to the timing, it's really not that bad and you learn how to work around it. Now, the beaches in Cocoa Beach tend to get really busy, and it is paid parking during certain days of the week and certain times, except for the county parks. But Cocoa Beach does have an annual parking pass that's $20 for residents or $75 for non-residents. And the water clarity definitely starts to get better on the south numbered streets. And when we look at the real estate, Cocoa Beach has a really good balance between multifamily and single family living. Right now, the median price point is $682,000. We've got about 5.5 weeks of inventory, and days on market is right around 20. So Cocoa Beach actually has probably the best opportunity right now in the county for available real estate. Overall, I really like the vibe in Cocoa Beach, especially if you work at the Cape or you need to get into Orlando on the regular. Now, if you're into waterfront real estate, whether that's direct river frontage or canal frontage, but you still want to be beachside, I think Cocoa Beach has some of the best deals right now on the entire East Coast. So if that's something you're into, you can call, text, or email us, and we'll get you connected with some of our favorites. We actually have some really cool Cocoa Beach house hunting trips planned in the near future, so if you subscribe to the channel down here, you'll get notified when those release. Now, the next places that we're gonna hit on our list are gonna be a little bit less touristy, so if these two places were too touristy for you, stick around because these next places might be a better fit. All right, so moving on from Cocoa Beach, we're gonna head even further south into Satellite Beach. Now, Satellite Beach is located directly south of Patrick Space Force Base. So if you're stationed at Patrick and you need to get there on a regular basis, Satellite Beach is another really good option. Now, if you want more of a local vibe around the clock, this is definitely your spot. You're still just a short drive north back into Cocoa Beach, or you can head south into Indian Harbor Beach or Indialantic, where most of the big box and local retail is gonna be located. You've got great access into Melbourne, whether that's through Pineda or O'Galley. Now, O'Galley is gonna have more traffic on it depending on the time of day, but if you need to get back to the mainland, you're gonna have good access here. Now, Satellite isn't quite as convenient to Orlando, so if you need to get there on occasion, it's not that bad, but if commuting to Orlando is gonna be a regular thing for you, I don't think this is gonna be quite as convenient as Cocoa Beach or even Cape Canaveral. Now, Satellite is home to some really pretty beaches. It's got an onshore reef that you can actually see at low tide. It's full of marine life, so if you like to fish, the surf fishing really starts to heat up around Satellite, and you tend to get a better wave compared to the beaches a little bit further north. Now, Satellite has a great mix of single family, condo, and townhome. It's a lot less commercial, and it has a really nice beach town residential vibe. Right now, the median price point is $762,000. We've got right around 2 weeks of inventory, and the average days on market is only 6. So right now, the real estate in Satellite Beach is in really high demand. All right, the next stop on our map is Indian Harbor Beach. Indian Harbor is directly south of Satellite Beach, and the vibe is very similar. A lot of the major retail and big box stores are going to be in Indian Harbor Beach, like Lowe's and Walmart, along with a lot of local small businesses. The proximity to Melbourne is great. You've got direct access through O'Galley or 192, and the beaches are absolutely beautiful. The real estate is a good mix of single family, condo, and townhome, much like Satellite Beach, and you'll also start to see more luxury properties as you move into Indian Harbor. Right now, the median price point is right at $757,000. We've got 2.5 weeks worth of inventory, and average days on market is 23. All right, so as we continue to work our way south, we're now gonna come to Indialantic. The north part of Indialantic's a bit more commercialized, but once we get past 5th Avenue into what's known as the Sofa District, it's absolutely beautiful. The beaches here are some of my favorite. The water is crystal clear and it has a really vivid aqua blue color, even on the rough days when the water is really churned up. I absolutely love it. Now, the real estate in Indialantic is some of the best in the entire county. You've got some beautiful riverfront estates off Riverside Drive, some really cool mid-century properties, and beautiful luxury oceanfront properties as well. The median price point is $675,000. We're just under 4 weeks worth of inventory, and days on market is right at 31. All right, on to our next stop, which is one of my absolute favorite places in the county, Melbourne Beach. Now, the north part of Melbourne Beach blends really nicely with Indialantic and has a very similar vibe. And as you move further south, you're gonna get a peek into what coastal Florida natively looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous and the beaches are pristine. You're just a short drive south to Sebastian Inlet, or you can head back north into Indialantic and have access to Melbourne via 192. It is a bit off the grid, so it doesn't quite have the same daily conveniences, but if you don't need access to that on the regular basis, I think you will absolutely love it. The median price point right now is $845,000. We're right at 3 weeks worth of inventory, and the average days on market is 23. And if you thought this video was helpful, make sure you hit the like button right here. You can subscribe to the channel, watch this video next, and we'll see you next time.